come down to this area to assess the nature of the invasives, primarily buckthorn and other woodies. We've substantially cleared this area out over a period of a year or so, and right now most of the large ones are gone. And this area we do have some beaver activity too. That's relatively recent, last few years the beavers have moved in here. And also too right now is you'll see some of the salmon spawning in there, which is really cool. And quite a few of them in there. There's one right there, and they're coming up from the river to spawn. These are large fish, 30 inches or larger. Quite a few of them in here. So hopefully you can see one splashing. But yeah, I saw about 10 of them in this general area. Regardless, is right now just looking at some things in here, and what we have now is all the large buckthorn we're taking out. There's some invasive poplars in here that are really starting to pop up. We'll have to deal with those. We don't want to grow over those in here. And we'd gotten rid of this whole area, which was just blocked with buckthorn. You couldn't even see through it, walk through it. It was dozens of large plants, stacked most of it along the edges there, on the top there. There's a couple that we have to get this year. We're just looking to, what we need to do, sweeps through this fall, and this is an area that we're going to do. A couple of these trees we had just canopied, taking the tops off because it was a lot easier at the time, and we have to go back and get these this year. This weekend we'll get these, and they got missed earlier for some reason, but there's only 2 of them. However, what we're starting to find is seedlings, smaller ones, the second generations that are through here, and those will have to be addressed one way or another. We might not get to them this year, but it's time to formulate a plan how to get them. Fortunately, this area doesn't look very bad. See, we've got buckthorns there. Here's a whole bunch of them right there. It looks like about 15 plants, and they're all about knee high, maybe a little bit smaller or bigger. So this whole patch right here, ultimately in a couple of years since we've opened it up, will be huge. It'll just choke things out. There's some natives in there that we need to protect. So sometime next year we'll deal with those. I don't think we're going to be able to deal with them this year. We just don't have the manpower. But overall, compared to how it was, is there's huge honeysuckle in here, some privet, also spindle euonymus that we're still dealing with to a certain point, and a lot of large honeysuckle, a couple burning bushes also. But for the most part, it's relatively cleaned out. And yeah, this is what we're doing now, like about a little over waist high, and those need to be taken care of. Another one there, so a lot of those. Now this is the future generation. Let's say right now we've done pretty well. The native structure will get a chance to come back through here, but if we don't get all these little ones out of here in the next year or so, ultimately it's going to be the end of the cycle. We've stopped the seed production here. Nothing in this general area, we define areas, is seeding whatsoever. So the seed bank is starting to exhaust itself, and we do not want these to survive to create more buckthorn in the future in this area. Birds might spread them around a little bit. There's nothing we can do about that, but it's not going to be from this particular area. Yeah, a couple other ones that we missed for different reasons, but we did clean out this. This was really dense. You couldn't even walk through there. It took us quite a bit of time to go through there. There's one that we had cut the canopies off to just open it up and get access and stop the seed production, and they flushed out pretty well. One of those looks like it's about 5 feet that it grew in 1 year, but multiple stems. That will have to be taken out this weekend, and that'll be done. And there's a couple, there's a real big one right there that we didn't address. That's one we plan on doing this weekend also, just to finish up this area. There may be some seeds on that one. I'm not sure. There's so many grapevines in here that once we got into that, it's like that's where we stopped and moved on to other areas. But yeah, some green right there and another one there. Looks like two big ones. But in this general area, you can see what a wasteland it created. It really just choked everything out in this area. That's how thick it was. There's no structure compared to down there where there is some native structure. They were able to get some light, and the buckthorn wasn't as dense along that river. And yeah, quite a bit of debris. Most of it we just chopped and dropped, like that area there. And we did pile up a couple here and there, a few piles. But this area is relatively large, 500 feet maybe, long, maybe even longer. And it runs along this whole river stretch, and it's relatively cleaned out for problematic woodies right now. The native structure can definitely compete, but we need to get the big ones and then formulate a plan for all these smaller ones. We cannot walk away with those little ones, because if we can get rid of those little ones, we're going to be able to have a long stretch where the native structure can really establish itself and be able to compete with the buckthorn. If we don't, that native structure will continue to strengthen. However, the buckthorn will do so as well, and over time just get larger and larger. But we're in really good position right here to really turn this whole area around in the next 12 months if we just make 3 or 4 more passes through it.